Are you trying to build the best team in Madden? Well, go today and avoid the packs and save some racks. Head on over, use code CC for 15% off. Hey, what is going on, Madden family? We are here to break my offense down for you guys as requested. All right, this was a heavily requested thing. So what I'm going to do for you guys with this, since this is probably going to be a longer video, I'm just going to put it all in one. If you look in the description, there should be timestamps for when things are, so you can sort of hop around and get to those things as well. But let's first cover the playbook and how I set my team up. Now, we are obviously operating out of the run balanced playbook, and we are running single back trips. That's all I run. And this is why the team we have. Don't worry about the offensive line so much, but we have a tight end. Obviously, get the best tight end you can. No abilities on the tight end for me. Quarterback. I need a hot route master quarterback for this. Now, for us, we get to use Michael Vick, which is great. Golden Ticket Vick, hot route master, escape artist, playmaker, roaming deadeye. We don't throw a ton of rollout passes here. Sometimes you may find yourself doing that, so that's why I still use the deadeyes. Again, you may not need to. That's up to you. And then additionally here, it is kind of a run-heavy offense, so I use a ability to running back as well, and that's where we have Bo Jackson come into play. Now again, to me, it's about human joystick. That's what I need, so that's what we have: human joystick, bruiser, evasive, inside zone guru. You could run inside zone guru or outside zone guru there. You could take off bruiser and run them both. With a player like this, it really doesn't matter. The blocking may get better on stretch if you obviously had outside zone guru, but I kind of like having bruiser there as well, because there are times where I AMA for stiff arms. And then additionally, we obviously run 3 wide receivers. It's a 3 wide receiver set. So we have the 3 golden ticket guys here. You don't have to have these guys. Now we have Julio here, and what we did with him before, these are the abilities that I had: human joystick, post flag, evasive, and slot-o-matic. Okay. I don't think you necessarily need all those. What I would do ability wise is, if you find yourself throwing him certain routes, you may want to change up your abilities. Like if you throw a lot of crossing passes to him, put cross specialist on him, right? Him at wide receiver 2 here is putting him on the most inside slot. Okay. So he's the crossing route on PA boot, for example, right? So that's what you need to do. Kelvin Benjamin is in the outside receiver. And then wide receiver 3 is in the true middle of the trio there. So that's how we set it up. There's a reason we have all these guys. I like them. They're good cards. You could have lesser cards. You could have Calvin Johnson, who's a lower rated receiver, just for example, right? You don't have to have human joystick on your receiver either. If you don't want to have that, don't use it. But now let's get into it. Let's start the actual breakdown of things. Let's learn. For this, we're going to be using the New England Patriots, simply because Tom Brady has hot route master, and I want to be able to show that to you, because I think having it is a bonus, and it's going to make it really good. So if you don't have hot route master, you're going to want a receiver that you can put hot routes on. Just sort of heads up there. So for the generic way I set things up, I set up my audibles. I get rid of slants. I put 93 up Y option. PA solid corner becomes PA Y glance, and corner double in becomes PA boot. Now, if you wanted to change those up, you obviously can. Corner double in actually has some merit to it. And I will say this to you guys: I do change up my audibles mid-game at certain points. If I'm really close to the end zone, or if I know it's a real running play, I'm going to take out something like PA Y glance or PA boot, and I'm going to then replace it with a different run audible. And I hope that makes sense, because I normally am coming out and stretch. The only other play I would come out in would be halfback power. So it's one of those two that I always come out in. Really depends on what they're running and how I think that's going to work. But that's how we set up our audibles. And again, just because you set your audibles one time to start the game doesn't mean you can't change them. On a 3rd and 1 by the goal line, maybe you want to have dive, stretch, power, and the bubble, right? Again, that's up to you. You have to sort of know what plays you would want at your disposal. So many people, when they play this game, will set their audibles one time and then never change them. When you can go out, and you don't have to come out with the same 4 audibles every single play, you can obviously change them up. whenever you want. It's going to make you a better player just knowing that, because there's more than 4 or 5 good plays in this formation, okay? Let's get on to this next part. All right, so the next part here we're going to talk about is the running game. Now, I mentioned that I come out and stretch pretty much most of the time. For this, I'm going to set my audibles up as the runs and the plays that I like. So again, what I'm going to do set up here is power O, dive, and bubble screen. If I want to be very run heavy, these are the plays I need. I would probably take out PAY glance and put in like PA boot then. If I wanted to just, I know I need to run the ball. These are the plays we're going to run, and we're going to come out and stretch. Now, what you come out in, what they come out in, it really just depends, right? So you got to cover 4 drop. I'm not going to show you guys all the how to manipulate every run, how to know when to do certain things. That's something you sort of need to learn, because it also depends on your opponent. Maybe your opponent's crashing the line up. Maybe they're using a weak side linebacker versus a strong side linebacker. But nonetheless, these are the runs. So again, with stretch, and the great thing about this is you can obviously flip the play using the right stick. You go left or go right. It's up to you. Do not be afraid to run to the weak side either. A lot of times people don't expect you to run to the weak side. So let's just show you the stretch here quickly. Again, against a look like this, probably not the best, but against some of those man coverage looks, that's what you want to go with. When you run dive, please keep in mind that if you want to run it to the right and you have a right-handed quarterback, it's going to be a quicker handoff. If you want to run to the left, you have a left-handed quarterback, it's going to be quicker. Otherwise, like if you have Vic and you were running to the right, the handoff's going to be a little bit slower, but the blocking is also going to be different because of the speed of it all. So just keep that in mind when you do it. So again, dive is also something that is very good. I really like the dive. You guys, if you've seen me play, you know the dive can definitely pop for us. Additionally, a play that we've built in a lot more is this halfback power. I know it does naturally go to the right. Again, that's fine. It's the weak side. The pulling guards a lot of times will kind of help create space, maybe pick up someone's user. Don't be afraid to run it to the left either, okay? Don't be afraid to run it this way. It still is a good run. And look, this one even pops right here against this cover 4 drop, which is a very popular defense that you will run into. So those are the actual runs, but we have the bubble screen, and I'm including this in the runs as well. This is why, for me, I put Julio Jones, he's my B receiver, as evasive, as human joystick, because when I want to throw this, he's going to be able to get there, and he's going to be able to make a good, quick move. I like this because a lot of times people want to blitz really, really heavily against this, which means that that's normally the linebackers or the corners are coming off there. And if someone has a user and they are trying to over pursuit the bubble, then you still have these other runs to the opposite side, which is a really good thing. Right, so you're playing 2 sides of the field at all time. It makes the way you play much better. Again, the bubble, make sure that it's not going to get picked off before you throw it. It is not an RPO bubble. Unfortunately, if it was like a dive bubble, that would be way better, a stretch bubble, but it's just a regular bubble. So if it's not open, just sort of run forward and go down. That's what I would recommend there. So those are the run plays that we use. Again, we use 4 different run plays. So we actually have we're putting a lot on the defensive plate for them to know what to stop, because sometimes players can stop one of the runs, or they can stop one of the runs one way, or maybe they can stop it both ways. We don't know, so we come fully prepared. Up next, we're going to talk about just a generic 1-play touchdown that you can use against cover 4 or cover 2 instead of PA boot. So again, for the sake here, we're just going to come out in the play, and we're going to back up here as well to show this to you. This was something that we featured on CC2 as well. And basically you want to streak that slot receiver there. Here's Edelman. I like to hitch your set there, which is why I like having playmaker on my quarterback, so I can playmaker people around. And then you're going to be waiting and trying to throw Sanu. Now, this is a very long play. It's a very long play, and especially in MUT, it's a little more difficult. So if you are doing this, be aware of where you're on the field, how you are rolling, and where your opponent's X factors are. Additionally, what I would be aware of too is see how good someone is at clicking on before you start trying to throw these bomb plays, because a good click on can pick this off. I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, this is always a touchdown. it's always a touchdown. No, it's not. I actually like to sort of roll away from it here, oddly enough. But again, cover 4, we see that bomb right there. I'm going to show it to you cover 2 as well, just so we get the idea and the look of it. I know we're covering things a little bit quick here, and that's okay. That's okay. So PA boot, we want to see Tampa 2. Again, right here. Bam, bam, bam. Exact same idea. We're getting pressured. And he's going up there. Now, what I will say with cover 2, personally, I like throwing it where the receiver is on. So, like, we're on the left hash. The trio's on the left. I like throwing the cover 2 more on this side. Okay? That's just me. Again, you can always flip your play and you can do what you want. You know, there's nothing against that. But I like doing it this way. Personally, that's just the way I like doing it better, because he gets over the top a little bit better on that side. If you saw the difference there, I hope you did. So again, be prepared, know your hashes, learn how it works. Quick, easy bomb again, but you need a lot of protection. I usually save this and I wait to see how my opponents are actually reacting. Are they a good player or a bad player to know if I can pull this out? So keep that in mind when you do this. All right, up next, we're going to cover how I like to attack quarters and palms. Okay? I know it's a really specific thing, but it's really important because it is a popular thing these days. And for this, we're going to run 93 up Y option. Okay, so here we're going to come out in, they got cover 4 quarters in here somewhere. There it is. Okay. Now again, with this play, I like to run it without I have the wide side for the receivers, okay? The setup here is I always block the running back out of this. I streak my tight end. I put the outside receiver on an in route. I put the wide receiver on a crossing route. You're saying that they go sort of intersect. Yes, they do. But we're going to motion him here. I'm going to motion snap him once he gets past A. What this is going to do is really generally mess up the zones. And if you have a better coverage there, you're going to actually do that. I mean, that's Edelman, who is not fast at all, right? Against palms, it's going to be a little more wide open. Additionally, if you wanted to do it a little bit differently at times, if someone's user gets on you, you can put the tight end on the cross. Same in route. Block your running back. And then again, motion this guy across. But now he's going to be going deep, right? So the tight end is going to be the one with the chance to get open here as well. Again, against quarters, not as great. Against palms, much better. I want to show it to you against palms. A lot of times you can't really tell which one someone is in. So it's still a man-beating route, which is essentially what we're getting there. So let's go to big nickel. Cover 4 palms. Again, streak, block, in, cross, motion. This is where, you know, you've got your Randy Mosses and stuff like that in the slot. He's going to do a very nice job here. And he's going to look. And when I say wide open, I mean wide open, right? I'm going to show you one more time quickly. Just so you know. Streak the tight end, block the running back. Baby in route. Crossing route. Boot across. If they happen to cover, that's why you've got the in, and that's why you've got the B receiver there. Again, this is literally the most wide open play in Madden 20. Good luck running palm. Good luck. Going on to the next one. All right, so now I want to talk about playing against cover 2, and more importantly, cover 2 press. So we have 93 up Y option and PA glance. Both of these are going to be the plays that we want to run against. And I'm going to show you against Tampa 2. I'm going to show you against a pressed coverage like pinch dog 2, okay? Start out with pinch dog 2. Again, you normally want to the wide side of the field. Don't be afraid to flip your play. It's okay. That fade route by Sanu there. And it's Muhammad Sanu. He is not fast at all. But against these press cover 2s, a lot of times that fade is going to actually get to the outside. Now, what happens a lot of times too, look at that. That's a touchdown, right? It's not always going to be there. Your opponents are going to do things as well. So when you run this play and you think, oh, he's definitely in cover 2, do not be afraid to look at that tight end. Do not be afraid to look at that B route going across the field too. Don't just blindly throw this. Okay? If they press and they are misaligned, that's even better. As you see here, we're actually throwing it against abilitied safeties as well, right? If you were to do it on the short side of the hash here, this is when things aren't going to work out as well. And you probably don't want to be running this play. You probably want to be going to the PAY glance because you're actually shortening the field there. See what I mean? So against the short side of the field, you can still run stuff like this. I'm more of a PAY glance guy. And again, you can leave everything the way it is. A lot of times you may want to block the tight end here as well. So that's what I'm going to do with PAY glance. I'm going to actually put him on a short out route in the middle there. I think that's more helpful. But this is a very good takeoff route. A good takeoff route there. But again, if you're throwing these cover 2 beaters, please try to do it to the wide side of the field. Your life is going to be much better doing that. Much better. So I want to show you this one more time against the pinch dog 2 here. This is PAY glance. Again, he sort of gets the takeoff route there. And you can throw it there. Maybe not as good sometimes. And I want to show you against a Tampa 2. A very basic stock Tampa 2. We'll do it out of nickel over G here. Should be helpful to see exactly what I mean, because you will play against this a decent amount. So again, the 93 up Y option. We're going to do this here. He gets chucked to the inside. Our play's not really there. So keep that in mind. He's not pressed. Maybe you don't really just want to go to this very stock one. But with the PAY glance, he's always going to get chucked to the outside. So that's okay. So we have 2 weapons at our disposal, 2 different plays that are going to really make them think. And what you will see over time as you beat people with this, either won't run cover 2, or they will try to invert their coverages, or just man it up. So again, keep that in mind. If they're pressing, you can kind of run either play. If they're not pressing, PAY glance is going to be more of your money play here for sure. Because again, look, even though he gets touched, he gets outside leverage every single time. There are still times now you're going to get man covered, and people love to run man coverage sometimes. And that's what we're going to come up with to play slants, okay? And people normally run it out of like Storm Brave or something very zero. I'm gonna turn off auto flip here for the purpose of the video, because normally someone's user would be there. So Storm Brave 1, Edge Blitz 1, etc. Those are very popular things. So what we want to do with this, you don't have to do much. As we see, it's got Gilmore on him there, so Edelman's not going to really get the separation. So I want to, more importantly, sort of show you what's going on. So I like to motion one of these slants across to do that. And this little wheel route that Edelman has here, a lot of times will beat it, especially in MUT. Now in here, it's not going to, okay? Do not blindly throw this route. Please, I beg of you, don't blindly throw it, because it's not always open. But sometimes it is, okay? So it's a decent little way, it's a sneaky way to sneak that in one time. Get your points when someone's playing very heavy man coverage. Sneaky play, save it, don't abuse it. Just be smart with this one, okay? Because you could throw a pick. The next thing I want to cover is just very basic offense, okay? I'm going to use corner double in. You could use any play. You could use any play we have here. It doesn't matter. And I like to do this like when I'm against these cover 4 drops. You don't always want to bomb them. But what I like to do is 2 different versions of setups. Again, creating basic flood concepts here, right? So I am streaking X. I want to have a streak there. I want to have B on a corner route. I want to have Y coming across the field, or just going straight to the flat, and then A coming across, right? So I need Y and A in this setup to do this sort of look. And what this is going to do is going to allow us to throw those fun corner routes there. You can obviously roll out, as we mentioned, sort of in the beginning, where we don't do a lot of rolling out here, but you can. Again, you can throw this from the pocket, depending on their coverage or whatnot, but it's really good spacing overall. And if it's covered, you obviously have to do check down routes, which is great. Additionally, what I like to run would be a very similar setup here, but we're going to go with A, the tight end on a corner route instead, and we're keeping Y in the flat. Okay, now you could put them on a smoke screen or a flat, whatever it is you want. But this tight end route over here against these linebackers is going to get open. The linebackers are not going to really cover it at all. If you want to roll out with it, you can. I'm just going to focus on this route only. I'm not going to focus on anything else. Because you're going to see he's going to fit in that nice little pocket there. Again, if you roll, it's going to be even more open. If you do it stock, we see it's kind of a shorter corner route there. If you're in an and 10 situation, you can smart route it and it will still be there for you. But I don't really know if it's better or worse. I can't tell. And I want us, we'll see here. Again, Brady can't roll, so it's still there. There's a little pocket of time, and you can have corner routes on both sides of the field, which is something we all love to do, right? And look at this. Look at this nice, beautiful setup. Where's someone user? Oh, their user's not there. Bam, toss it in there. Very good. I like it. Okay. Now, if you are on the wide side as well, there's an additional setup you can do here. What you would want to do, honestly, here is you want to put X on an out route, right? B on a streak, and Y in that corner out. Whatever you do with the tight end is up to you. And you just do a little motion in here, and then you're going to want to fire in like a low ball there, okay? Sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it's not. Edelman's not the best at it. It depends if they're man aligning and base aligning, honestly. So keep that in mind. But this is a little a cute little route you can sort of save and have ready for, you know, a couple yards. Keep that in mind. Again, this is for the basic bonus ad right here. Something that became very popular at Ace Twins from Civil. So shout out to him for that. But we had to adapt it to this. You know, you had to. And this base aligned much better. A good little dot. It's a good little dot. Now let's go to our final play of the video. And our final base play is just going to be PA boost. And how I like to run this is a pass play. It's going to get open against any coverage. It's going to have to be user. And it's not a surprising setup. Right here, right? We streak the tight end. We block the running back. We put X on an in route. Now Y is kind of like your wild card route, but I actually like leaving them there. That post gets open at a little bit of a depth, and you'll see. But you're mostly going for B route. The crossing right here is a very good crossing route. It's going to get open. Look in there, you can just sort of click on and swerve it and get it. It is a little bit better from the wide side of the field. It is a little bit better from the wide side here. So obviously, you're doing this. If you wanted to do motions with this, you can. Again, I would probably motion Y. We're consistently motioning him doing stuff. It is a very similar setup and look that we have for the 93 up Y option. Very similar look. But I think it's a little bit better sometimes. I don't know. Really just depends. It just depends. And like I said, sometimes Y, that little post route just gets in the little tiniest spot there. So don't forget that. Again, if they leave the tight end wide open off the line, feel free to throw that. If everything's covered, you've got a little in route. I love my in route, which has your back. Got your back pretty nicely. Pretty nicely. Again, there we have. I would have playmaker. We would playmaker that out route up in the middle of the field where it is vacated. Again, very basic play here. This is such a classic Madden looking play. But I like it. I like it. We're going to throw that little laser right there. Pew, pew, pew. So again, that's it. I know there's a lot of information in here. And I hope this is helpful for you guys to really see what I do. Normally, I would have broken it down in a lot more time. But for a YouTube video, for like a Cliff Notes version, I feel like we did an okay job. Either way, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I'm out. Peace.